I managed to buy my house at 20, but how did I actually achieve it? I want to kind of give you guys the process of how it all happened, how I went about it, and how I actually managed to buy a house at 20. Because let's face it, it is not easy. But I want to show you guys that when there's a will, there's a way, and that any of you can also do it. So hi guys, I'm Eva, a mortgage paraplanner talking all things finance. If you've already watched some of my videos, you know that I talk a lot about buying a house. I really do. And I have already spoken about the bad experience that I had with buying my house, so we're not going to go into that today. I'll let you watch it here. But this is the process. This is of how I actually managed to buy it. The logistics. Yes, the logistics of it. Let's just crack on and let's jump into the video. Right, so let me kind of rewind back to when I was younger, and more specifically when I was 13, which is the age I believe I actually opened my first bank account. Well, I say me, my parents opened it for me. Listen, I'm lucky in the way that my parents have always spotted my ambitions, and I know it's not quite normal for a 13-year-old kid to already have a financial goal in place, but I was always very smart, financially aware, business orientated, that kind of thing. So my goal was always to save to buy a house from honestly a very young age. I'd probably go as far as saying from the age of 13. So obviously when I opened my first bank account, my parents were giving me pocket money. I want to say I was getting £50 a month pocket money, but that could be a complete lie because I honestly, guys, cannot remember now. So when I was 13, it would have been, quick maths, Eva, quick maths, 2009. So in 2009, I was 13. So as I say, my parents were putting money into my bank account and that was it. The thing is, as a child, I was already really, really good with money, which once again, is not something you see very often nowadays. But I would rarely spend my own money. And luckily, my parents never really expected me to spend my own money. You know, if I needed clothes, they would buy me clothes. If I needed whatever, they would buy me whatever. So I was really, really privileged in that respect. But in return, they wanted good grades from me. They wanted me to stick in at school and make sure I get my education, which is exactly what I did. So if we fast forward 3 years to when I was 16, and this is where I started at sixth form. Now, as soon as I kind of turned 16, well, not long after anyways, I picked up a part-time job in a cafe, and I was at that job for around 2 years. I think I quit just before I turned 18 off the top of my head. But yeah, I was there for literally the whole time I was at sixth form, which obviously enabled me to save a lot more. So I would normally work weekends. So obviously I'd be at sixth form majority of the week and then work the weekends. Now during half term, summer holidays, etc., I'd basically be working full time, which enabled me to save a lot of money. Well, I say a lot, quite a big chunk. So what I used to do is I used to get paid in cash, right? I used to get paid in cash and it used to come in envelopes. So I would literally save up. I got paid weekly, by the way. I would save up the envelopes, right, that I got every single week. And then once I had about 5 or 6, I would then open them all at the same time because honestly, guys, I felt rich. When I opened them all, and there was loads of money in there, I felt rich. But once again, even though I was like 16, 17 at this point, I still barely spent my money. So I was rarely one of those girls that always had a nails done. I only really got my nails done for like holidays and stuff. Like, I wasn't really one to have any regular treatments done. As well as that, once again, if I needed new clothes, stuff like that, my parents would still buy me them. So I could literally just save all the money I was earning. So in all fairness, the only big expenses that I had during that time were I went on holiday to Magaluf, which I paid for myself. But apart from that, I had no real big expenses. So fast forward till after sixth form. So we're now talking November 2014, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think it was November 2014 is when I started a job at a private bank. So this job obviously paid me a bit more. So I think when I first started, I was on around 15,000 a year, 15 or maybe 15 and a half, something along those lines. So that's what I started on, which obviously for an 18-year-old is amazing. Like, it's great. It's a lot of money. But honestly, guys, getting that job enabled me to skyrocket my savings. I was putting in like at least £500 a month into my savings account. And obviously some months it'll be a lot more than that because I had hardly anything to pay for. Now, my parents never asked me to pay any rent when I was at home. So obviously at this point my savings would kind of rack up, you know, I was saving quite a bit. And then the Help to Buy ISA came out, so obviously I opened that, I saved into that. And I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't long after I opened the Help to Buy ISA that I actually found the house that I ended up buying. So I didn't get the full benefit of the Help to Buy ISA, which I'm kind of sad about, but I still had enough to get me to where I needed to be, which is great. But honestly, guys, that was it. All I did was I worked from a young age, I saved my money, I didn't spend it on crap, and that was it. And then when I was obviously at the private bank, I think it was about 2015, like end of 2015, beginning of 2016, is when I picked up my second job, a weekend job. So I was working at the bank full time, Monday to Friday, and then I was doing kind of Saturday and the odd Sunday at a sunbed shop to once again just boost my savings. And honestly, guys, that helped massively. It really did. And then I carried that part-time job on for ages to then help with paying my bills. As you can imagine, the bills went up as soon as I moved out. And obviously had all the other things to pay for, fees and doing the house up, expensive, all of that. So honestly, that is basically my story. But I just want to give you guys, I guess, my 5 pointers as to what you could be doing or what I did to help me save for my house deposit, because I know people do struggle and I get it. I honestly get it. And obviously, as I say, I was in a good position where I didn't have a lot of expenses at a young age. I didn't. But the thing I did well was the fact that I started very, very early. I didn't leave it till I was in my 20s to start saving for the house deposit. I started in my teenage years. But if you are in your 20s and you're watching this, do not feel discouraged. It is not too late to start saving for the house deposit. You can still do it. It is still achievable. You just need to be committed. But anyways, let's have a look at the kind of 5 tips that I've got for you. So it'll be no surprise that my tip number 1 is to stop spending. Stop spending money on things you don't need, that you literally just buy into probably impress others. Honestly, guys, you're just taking yourself further away from the goal. Like, don't get me wrong, I know it's nice to have a designer handbag or a designer clothes. Totally get it. You know, it makes you feel a bit better, doesn't it? But if your goal is to buy a house, you're gonna have to pick, right? Because you can rarely have both when you're just starting out. You need to decide what's more important. Are you wanting to get a house or are you wanting that Gucci bag? It's honestly as simple as that. So tip number 2, prioritize your spending. Links very closely in with the last one, and it's literally, what would you rather spend your money on? Save it. Save it towards your house deposit. Because honestly, guys, you have to prioritize your objectives at the end of the day. If you are serious about wanting to buy a house, you need to prioritize and, you know, stop the takeaways on the weekend, stop the drinking, stop whatever you need to stop, right? Whatever it is that is costing you a lot of money, stop it and put that money into your savings. Okay, I'll stop having a go at you right now. I'll stop having a go. Tip number 3 is to identify where your money is actually going. And don't call me the budget queen for no reason. Nobody calls me that, by the way. Made it up. But my budgeting template, I don't want to blow my own horn, right? But if you haven't watched my budgeting videos, what are you doing? Come on, they're actually alright. But the point of them is to show you how I work my budget, how I keep track of where my money is going. And honestly, it's the best thing you'll ever do. Knowing where your money's going is all you need to know, because that way you can identify where you can make cutbacks. So for example, if I know I'm spending a bit too much on takeaways, I know that's where I need to cut back on. So in my head, the following month, I'm like, oh, actually, I spent that much on takeaways last month. If I don't have any this month, this is how much I can put into my savings, because I clearly could afford it last month, so I can afford to put it into my savings this month. And it's as easy as that. So honestly, guys, grab a copy of my budgeting template, The link is in the description box down below. It's only $3.99 and you get it for life. One-off purchase, you get it for life. It's an Excel document and it's all yours. Do whatever you want with it. So go see where all your money goes. Tip number 4. Well, I think it's tip number 4. I've lost count. But yeah, tip number 4, pick up extra work. Listen, I know the last thing we all want to do is to work more. But sometimes you have to. If you've done everything to cut your spending down and you're still falling a bit short of being able to save as much as you want to be saving, then listen, you're gonna have to pick up extra work. Whether that's overtime or whether that's picking up a part-time job like I did, whatever it takes, right? If you want something so badly, you do whatever it takes to get there. And please don't do the silly thing of falling for all these get-rich-quick schemes, because I ain't gonna lie, I've been there, right? Probably got the t-shirts. I've fallen for a lot of these schemes because of the promise of making a lot of money quick, and I have lost money, right? Which took me further away from my goals. Yeah, I still managed to get to where I am, but that's purely because, for one, I quickly identified that I was not going to make a lot of money from these schemes. But number 2, I then worked hard in my actual jobs where I knew I was definitely going to get paid. So yeah, don't fall for get-rich-quick schemes and work. And I know you thought I was done having a go, but this is my final tip, and that's to stop with the excuses. Listen, we've all been there. We've all made excuses for various things that are happening. But ultimately, if you want something very much, you make it happen. Stop the excuses and do what it takes to get you to where you need to be. Only you can achieve your own goals, no one else. And stop looking for handouts. Stop looking for reasons why you can't do something. Start looking for solutions, not problems. And honestly, guys, that will transform your life. Remember, this ain't supposed to be easy. You are supposed to feel challenged. It's a good thing. Don't run away from it. As trust me, it will pay off. It has for me. It has for many other people who have managed to buy their own house. And look, it doesn't matter what age you are. Don't be put off by the fact that, oh, she bought a house at 20. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're 20, if you're 30, if you're 40. If you want to buy a house, you buy a house. It doesn't matter what age you are, and you can achieve this at any age. You can do this. Okay guys, I think that's enough. I think I've said enough. I hope you found this video at least a little bit useful. But ultimately, I just wanted to share my experience that it is achievable. If you really put your mind to it, it is achievable. And I know you can all do it. If you have any questions or if you want to get in touch with me direct, feel free to drop me an email or a DM on Instagram and I'll be more than happy to have a chat. If you did like this video, please make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe to my channel down below. Thank you for watching and I'll see you guys back on Monday with a brand new video. Bye guys.